Welcome. This is Gary Sultan, Chief of R&D and creator of IOP Technology. This video examines the efficiency and effectiveness of the average university's management structure. We do this using a sample of 732 individuals whose organizational position is known and who hail from over 100 different universities. We standardized our sample into 4 categories representing distinct layers of management. 254 professors are at the top of the pyramid, not because they direct those under them, but because they are the ones who produce the product that everybody wants, education. Professors have been analyzed in depth. You can view the results of this research on IOP.com. Just look for this icon in the For Scholars section of Coffee Break videos. For our purposes in this video, it is sufficient to note that professors, regardless of rank, put highest reliance on the idea-oriented RI style, and put a secondary reliance on the analytical HA style. Together, these styles produce what is termed perfector behavior. This pattern is characterized as welcoming new ideas, but for in-depth analysis rather than for decisive action. Kind of appropriate for a professor, wouldn't you say? Our sample includes 140 directors from 69 different universities. These are non-academic executives who head functions and programs. This is the level that begins to concern itself more completely with university operations. Here are some of the functions represented by the directors in this study. It is fairly broad and can be considered reasonably representative of the director-level function. Now, directors set policy, practice, and procedure. Their efforts directly affect the circumstances within which the professors carry out their role. The match between the way professors and directors process information can be important. Here is a comparison of the information processing profile of professors and directors. They are cut from the same cloth, with one exception. Directors put a significantly greater reliance on the decisive RS strategy than do professors. The difference is more visible on this graph, which shows the RS strength distribution. Directors hold a stronger RS position at the higher levels of commitment. So, what does this mean? Well, it means that professors are likely to think that directors are a bit hasty, and directors are likely to see professors as a bit slow out of the blocks. To avoid timing-based conflict, directors may tend to avoid involving professors in decisions. Professors will probably see themselves as having been left out of decision-making. And they are right, they probably were. And they probably will continue to be. It is unlikely that the time constraints on the decisions that drive the directors will be relaxed in the future. This is one of the disjoints that is likely to persist as long as universities do. Now, let's move on to administrators. The 135 administrators in our sample come from 55 universities and include managers and supervisors. These are the people who guide the operation of the university's functions and programs. Here are some of the administrator functions included in the sample. They are sufficiently diverse to be representative of the administrator level in general. Now, administrators are likely to periodically interact with both professors and directors as they go about their duties. So, what are the issues that they are likely to encounter in these interactions? This table shows the statistical significance of the differences in the IOP profiles between administrators and both professors and directors. And it looks like there is a real difference. Administrators differ from professors along the idea-oriented RI dimension. There is only a 1.5% chance that the difference in their profiles is just a random variation. Let's take a deeper look. This is the idea-oriented RI strength profile of professors versus administrators. Administrators may tend to view professors as being a bit blue sky in their approach. And professors are likely to see administrators as being a bit unimaginative. Yeah, there is probably a real difference in approach. but professors and administrators match on the other three dimensions. The difference in idea-generating RI nets out to more of an occasional annoyance rather than a serious disjoint. Directors and administrators differ only on the analytical HA style, and then only marginally. The difference just squeaked under the 5% academic standard. Here is the administrator's analytical HA style strength compared to that of directors. The difference looks local. It appears to be confined to a small group of highly committed administrators. Overall, what disjoint there is likely to be identified with these individuals, rather than being attributed to the group as a whole. Let's now move on to the staff level. In our sample, the staff level is represented by 203 people. Here is the range of the non-management functions these people perform. It is enough to be representative of the university staff level as a whole. This graphic shows that the staff level differs significantly from all management levels in 8 of the 12 relationships. In other words, the different ways of interpreting the world provide a basis for misinterpretation, misdirected outcomes, and emotional stress for all involved. But that's not the way things work. What really happens is that the staffs work through administrators, and the fit between the supervising administrators and the staffs ain't all that bad. These two adjacent levels do differ significantly, but not that severely. Their differences center on the idea-oriented RI and the process-oriented LP dimensions. This graph shows the strength profile of the two groups on the idea-oriented RI dimension. Administrators are likely to offer more ideas of a major nature. This is not likely to be a big problem, since that is what they are expected to do. And here is the strength profile of the staff and administrators on the process-oriented LP dimension. The difference is statistically significant. It is real. But it is relatively small and spread out across the range of strengths. Overall, both parties are likely to see each other as having roughly the right level of commitment to methodical, deliberate, and careful action. Now let's put everything together and see if we can get a picture of the university as a whole. This chart shows the information processing profiles of all of the management levels. Professors and directors track each other closely, except for the responsive RS dimension. The staff appears to be out of whack with both directors and professors on almost all dimensions. But watch what happens when we put administrators into the mix. The administrator profile balances between all of the other levels. They bridge the gap. They are likely to be able to represent the staff interest to these other levels and to interpret the professor and director concerns to the staffs in an understandable fashion. The net result is that administrators are likely to feel that they are often caught in the middle. They literally are. The picture painted by this study is an example of a classic trade-off. The professor's unhurried RS posture serves the university's prime objectives, but frustrates the director's need to get stuff done, which in turn causes the director to avoid involving the professors in their decisions, which then causes the professors to feel that they are left out of the decision process. They are. The staff sees both professors and directors as being out of whack with reality. In their view, these levels simply do not understand what it takes to get something done right in the real world. And the administrators, the managers and supervisors, sit right in the middle, trying to get their job done while balancing the different interests of the other organizational levels. From a local perspective, everyone has something to complain about. But from the university's organizational perspective, the machine is functioning at near optimality. The university is a system of natural tensions. It is inevitable that these tensions will not always be perfectly balanced. When they do get out of whack, local interventions are the appropriate response. So, what does this all mean? It means that the average university is pretty much optimally organized in terms of its ability to fulfill its dual objectives of knowledge creation and transfer. Tensions that do exist are as unavoidable as the trade-off between strength and flexibility in mechanical engineering. But the study also gives rise to a caution. The average university is a finely balanced system of tensions. Fiddling with the structure to gain efficiencies or economies can have serious unintended mission-level consequences. Caution in initiatives that alter basic structure is strongly advised. Thank you for viewing this video. If you would like to learn more about IOP technology, please visit our websites at iop.com or oeinstitute.org. Both sites have much more information on IOPT and the areas where it has or can be applied. Thank you again for your interest in IOP technology.